Hello and welcome back to the MC Championship video. The date for the next Canon MCC event, which will be MCC 27, was announced earlier this week, and it's going to be an unusual and very unique event, so trust me, you don't want to miss everything we know so far about it. So let's talk about it, but before we spoil the facts, a reminder that only a small percentage of the people who watch our videos are actually subscribed. Do me a favor and check if you're subscribed, especially if you're new around here, so you don't miss the latest MCC news from me. So at 4:30 PM BST on Monday 24th of October 2022, just 2 days after MCC 26, the official MC Championship Twitter account posted saying, MCC 27 Underdogs hits the dome November 12th. Each player has never won an MCC before. I mean, who doesn't love an underdog story? This is a thread, so there is a second tweet connected to the first one, more on that later. As you can see, we have so much to unpack here. This is an entirely new event concept, directly inspired by the non-canon MCC All-Stars event. This first tweet starts by revealing the date, although the tweet doesn't make clear the exact time and the time zone to go by. A similar announcement in the official MCC Discord clarifies this on screen right now. Here's what it says. MCC 27 Underdogs has been announced. Last year for our anniversary, we pit all our previous winners against each other in MCC combat. This year we're flipping the script. It's time for the underdogs to shine. We've invited 40 contestants who have not won a Canon MCC back for their chance to earn their first MCC coin and crown. Watch them become leader of the pack 12th of November 8 PM GMT/3 PM ET. You may be used to me saying that the event will commence at 8 PM British Summertime BST, but stop right there because it's not starting at 8 PM BST, oh no. For the first time in 2022, this MCC is shifting to a completely different time zone. You see, on Sunday the 6th of November, the UK, which is where the Noxcrew, the Team 9 MCC are based, will be setting its clocks back by 1 hour, signaling the start of Greenwich Mean Time GMT, which basically means that the UK gains an extra hour. So MCC 27 would begin at 9 PM BST if you stuck to the old time zone, so in theory you are having to wait an extra hour for MCC, although this is made up for in March when the UK returns to BST. But if you live outside the UK, you may still be affected, since around 70 other countries around the world do this too. Therefore, make sure to use a reliable time zone converter to find out when MCC 27 begins in your local area. For anyone in the east of North America, it's not 3 PM Eastern Time ET, as the Discord announcement incorrectly states it's now going to be 4 PM ET. Please don't get that wrong and accidentally show up an entire hour early to the event. Also, focusing just on the event date itself, it looks like we'll be waiting just 3 weeks between MCC 26 on October 22nd and the upcoming MCC 27 on November 12th. This is the first time this short 3-week gap is happening in 2022, but it's been common with events between October and November in the past. For example, in 2021 we only had to wait 3 weeks between MCC 18 on October 23rd and MCC All-Stars on November 13th. Now we can take a look at the second tweet in that thread. So after the date announcement tweet, the MCC Twitter also briefly said teams next week. It's well established by now that whenever teams are announced, the first 5 will drop on one day and the remaining 5 will drop the next day around the same time, and there's typically a 15-minute gap between each team's announcement. So teams will roll out at some point during the week beginning Monday 31st October. We are left with 3 likely day pairs for team announcements, so either the Monday and Tuesday pair, which is uncommon but not rare, and if this is the correct pair, then teams should drop on Monday 31st of October and Tuesday 1st of November. It could also be the very common Thursday and Friday pair, which is used most of the time, and if this is the correct pair, then teams should drop on Thursday 3rd and Friday 4th of November. Finally, there's a chance that it's a less likely but still possible weekend pair of Saturday and Sunday, and if this is the correct pair, then teams should drop on Saturday 5th and Sunday 6th of November. Remember that these are educated guesses and they could throw us off by introducing a different day pair instead, like Tuesday and Wednesday, which for team announcements has never happened in season 2, so there's a small chance they may be wrong. Realistically, the only viable day pair is the Monday and Tuesday, as these have sometimes been used for non-canon events, whereas the Thursday, Friday and Saturday, Sunday pairs are way too close to MCC 27 the week after. And following the delayed team announcements for last event due to TwitchCon San Diego earlier this month, I'm sure Scott Smidge and the social media women are keen to ensure that we don't get them late again. That practically covers the date and some info about the teams. Now let's discuss everything we know so far about MCC 27. Well, for starters, it's not going to be your typical canon event. It's way more complicated than that, so you bet this event's gonna have a lot of unique things to discuss. Let's not waste any more time and dive right in. Now, although this event is numbered as the 27th canon event, it can also be referred to as MCC Underdogs, which makes the event seem like it's going to be non-canon, but apparently not. MCC 27 Underdogs is going to be a mixed hybrid event, according to Daniel Elton, a Noxcrew admin who spoke in the MCC Discord event chat channel after the announcement of Underdogs. I'll be referring to his messages a lot across this video. One of the biggest pieces of information he could reveal is that MCC 27 is half canon. It is numbered and will award a coin for winning, but its stats will be removed after, except the winners. The only restriction on who can play is that anyone that's won a canon event cannot participate. Winning a non-canon doesn't prevent them from playing in this one. Winning MCC 27 counts as a canon win. They get a crown during MCC 28 and they stay in the Hall of Fame. If you're confused about this, don't worry, I'm here to dig deeper and elaborate. So the first thing that Daniel confirmed is that MCC 27 is not fully canon but will be treated as a canon event to some extent. For example, he says that the MCC 27 winners will receive the regular MCC winners coin. However, like with non-canon events, all stats will be wiped after the event is over. So all coins, kill numbers, and dodgebot shot and dodge accuracies will not appear under the canon record section of the Hall of Fame. What does remain in the Hall of Fame is the winners podium for MCC 27, which will be located downstairs below the top 10 individual standings. He's saying that there will be one of those for MCC 27 and it will stay there forever, and therefore during MCC 28, which will happen in this December, any MCC 27 winner who plays in MCC 28 will have the winner's crown above their skin, just like how a canon winner in the past has had their crown in the hub between between games for the following event. Daniel then clarifies the entry criteria to be eligible to play in this event. He says the only players who are not allowed in the event are canon winners from both seasons 1 and 2. If you aren't convinced about this, all I can say is take a look at this screenshot that Dave Kratzy, who has only won MCC1, shared on Twitter, which proves that Scott's Major, the man who makes the actual teams, doesn't allow canon winners no matter how long ago their last win was. So you may be wondering, with all these strict requirements in place, who could actually be in this event? I have a list of the most likely no-wins players, including some long-forgotten Season 1 participants to share with you now. Most of the likely candidates are mentioned here, but not all, and bear in mind that not everyone here may want to sign up for this event. Starting with the unlucky canon players who could finally have a shot at their win, the potential active players for MCC27 are AMC and Venom, or Sam Dude, Blushy, Connery Pants, Elena EXE, Foolish Gamers, Gene Ellie, Hannah XX Rose, Jack Manifold, Polised Moon, Ponk, Ranboo, Slimesicle, Spyfy, Tina Kitten, Red Velvet Cake, and V Gumio. The less active candidates for this event include Gizzy Gaza, LD Shadow Lady, Neachu, Preston, and the Simmers, Dr. Gluon, James Turner, and Vixella. Former MCC contestants who are less likely to come back but could surprise us include BB Paws, Calvin, Dan TDM, Jerome ASF, Joey Graceffa, Catherine Elizabeth, Lauren Z-Side, Mefs, who officially quit the event after MCC 18, but again, you never know, Plumbella, RT Game, Steffo Sims, Gamerberry, Toxic Support, and Yami XOX. Finally, the one-time players who many of you won't even recognize, including Deathridge, Grazer, Copquake, iJevin, Iskal, Jack Sucks at Life, Jameski, JC the Caster, Justani, Ludwig, Netty Plays, Pokimane, Scott Griswold, and Tankmat. But what about the non-canon players? As Daniel alluded to earlier, non-canon players, including winners, are allowed to compete for MCC 27. So alongside seeing returning canon players who haven't participated in ages, we may witness the return of rare players who we've previously only seen in the Pride events. For example, some notable examples from the Pride events include the Crew, consisting of It's Funny, Golden Glare, Painting Rainbows, and Draconite Dragon, as well as Creekcraft, who won Pride 21 and since then has expressed his interest in joining the mainstream event. But also Squishy, Laserbeam, Valkyrie, Saikuno, Jacksepticeye, Crank game players could be featured. Don't forget about MCC Rising. From that special event, a lot of Rising competitors could sneak into this event. For instance, Speed Silver and Ex Nestoria, who both won Rising, as well as Bilzo, Boostfer, Heiki Hate Me, Dev, Kia, and Yellow Wool, to name only a few. And of course, who could forget everyone's favorite non-canon event, the Yogscast Jingle Jam MCC. In theory, we could see almost anyone from that event, but some members of the community are suggesting that one particular player, the Spiffing Brit, has a chance to come back this time. I know that's a lot of potential players, and add to that the fact that technically new players who have never played in any MCC before could join, but to quote the wise words of Daniel the admin, keep in mind that eligibility doesn't mean they have interest and are available on the day. Yet a couple of the aforementioned candidates have already replied to the MCC 27 date announcement tweet, perhaps an indication that they are interested in this potential redemption event. I found a couple examples. There are more however, but maybe the most exciting ones include iJevin, who simply said hi in response. Also RT Game replied enthusiastically in all caps with "This is my chance." Now why don't you let me know down below in the comments who you want to see in MCC underdogs. So besides the players themselves, what else do you know about MCC 27? There's one more big thing we have to remember, which is that November 2022 marks the 3-year anniversary of the first ever MCC, which began as a smaller scale version of the events we have today on November 17th, 2019. Daniel himself confirmed that this MCC will have the anniversary decorations. But what will this look like? We saw a couple minor decorations in All Stars last year, but the best showcase of these decorations can be found in MCC 12 for the 1-year birthday celebrations. Balloons and cake were scattered around the hub, and all online players, including admins, will receive a party hat which is automatically on their skin in the hub only. Now there's probably a couple other small hints we've been given about what to expect from MCC 27, but I've talked through the most important ones here. Good job to Noxcrew for developing another great event, and to Scott's Major for organizing the teams, which should be dropping next week as mentioned earlier. Well, I've been your host, I hope you found this video informative and enjoyable, and I'll catch you on the next MCC video. See ya!